All right, going over my thoughts for July 6th, Tuesday, July 6th, New York session, right? So what we're looking at here is the 4-hour chart on US30. We're entering all-time high levels, also really good levels of resistance to kind of bring us back down into a lower or a higher low. So this is the 4-hour chart. You can kind of see we broke this little resistance here to our left, kind of using that as support. But one thing I'm going to keep in mind, right, is pretty much from everything from here on, the U.S. banks have been closed, so there's been really no U.S. pressure on this actual chart, right? So that could be the meaning for this continuation up. So really what I'll be looking at tomorrow, kind of diving down on the lower time frame on the, let's just say this is the 15-minute chart. Two things, right? Obviously looking for that bullish move, but if we kind of see price kind of come in tomorrow and show us that bearish move, be looking for price to break this zone. My bad. Be looking for price to pretty much break this zone, right? And then kind of give us that fib retracement to kind of continue back down to kind of maybe tap back down into this previous level. On the flip side, really looking for price to kind of break above and then also bring us back for that fib replacement and kind of continue up to this all-time high level resistance. So either one of these could come into play. I think we might see this one. I could see us having a pretty good bullish open and then kind of having price drive back down and kind of break this level and target back down here lower, but we're keeping both in mind. Obviously trading in an uptrend for the upside. But what you're going to see here is this level right here is the area we're looking to break. We kind of are using this as support now. But overall, kind of staying below this, I could see price kind of coming back down. So we'll see what London session brings. It should be a decent amount of volume just because the markets have been closed for 2 days. So keeping these two entries in mind and keeping these higher time frame levels in play is kind of going to be what we're going to be looking at tomorrow, right? This would be an area I'd expect price to pull back to on the downside, and then on the upside, we'd be looking at areas up here to be kind of tapped into. Just kind of fundamentally keeping all that in mind that the markets have been closed and all that. So this bullish momentum we've seen since Sunday could kind of die down and kind of get taken right back over as soon as the U.S. markets open. So those are kind of my quick thoughts. Again, focusing on these same high time levels on the chart. And you can kind of see this, the 4-hour chart, and kind of see where I'm marking up these levels, where I'm looking for targets. Currently at this level of resistance right here, and then maybe targeting this level of resistance to the upside at these all-time highs, or to the downside targeting this previous level of resistance right here, which you could see when we did break above, that was a clean level. So obviously kind of targeting this level would make a lot of sense on the downside. And then same to the upside, this is a clean level of resistance at all-time high levels, and targeting that to the upside would make a lot of sense. If you kind of pause the video and look at some of these levels I've been drawing, we've had these levels drawn up for about 2 weeks. So keeping that in mind, all these are coming off the 4-hour and the daily and looking for confluence with on the lower time frames, right? Break a structure, retest to a good fib level for the continuation up, right? Break a structure, fib level retracement to the upside. So keeping that in mind, everything we'll pretty much be looking for going into tomorrow is everything we've been doing up until this point, right? Break a structure, low time frame pullback for the continuation up. Same thing down here. Break a structure, low time frame pullback for the continuation back down. This is a really key level, so kind of seeing how price reacts in this area, breaking that zone, looking for that pullback for the continuation down, and then kind of same thing up here. Both pretty key levels. Obviously, we're trading that uptrend, so looking for buys would make a little bit more sense, but I think we could see a decent pullback to catch a nice move kind of going into tomorrow's NYSE open. Overall, those are my kind of quick thoughts on where I think price could head tomorrow. So we'll pretty much be looking at, as far as areas I'll be looking at, would be right around here. And then on the upside, right around here. So overall, if we see this bullish push targeting up here, and if we see that bearish open and kind of that bearish structure kind of come into play, targeting down here. But again, overall, all these areas are mapped out on the 4-hour, and we're kind of just sticking with trend and watching how price reacts to certain levels, and then looking for the break of those levels for the continuation of that whole move, whether it's the upside or the downside. But I think we've seen that higher high created here, so now I'm really anticipating that lower low to be created, especially with the confluence that the U.S. markets have been closed. Although we could see that bullish push right off the jump, and we could catch that move to those all-time high levels. Overall, it's kind of what I'll be looking for going into tomorrow. Other than that, yeah,